What's shaking, everybody? My name is Ross Mandell. I'm coming to you guys live today from sunny Delray Beach, Florida. We got a very interesting treat for you today. You know, it's Friday, and Friday's usually a different kind of day for me. But he's in town. He's hitting the circuit. He's done Lanning, Javelin, Williams, and now he comes to Ross Mandell. I want you to welcome Adam Larkin. What's up, baby?
What's up, brother? Thanks for having me.
It's really nice to meet you finally.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've been boning up on you a little bit, and there's a lot to you.
Nice.
I mean, GITT Apparel.
Yes, sir.
Get in the truck.
Do something different. Get motivated, get inspired, get whatever you want out of life. Get with the program. Don't get left behind.
I love that. It's not the first time you said that.
Right. No.
So you came in from out of town. That's why we're doing this quick circuit, right?
Yeah, I flew in from Lexington, Kentucky. Never need an excuse to come down to beautiful Florida.
Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah.
What? And is that where you live now?
I live about an hour south in London, Kentucky.
The L's. You're hitting all the L spots in Kentucky. You ever go to the Derby?
Ironically, no. But the funny thing is how God works, man, where I ended up. So I'm from Saratoga Springs, New York. So talk about the racetrack, and then
You're
I end
from
up
Saratoga, and you don't go to the Derby? What?
Right. I need to check it out.
I went to the Derby, and those were back in the day. I was drinking mint juleps, and I didn't really care for them too much.
Right.
I said, give me some whiskey.
all suited up. Had the woman with the sundress and the hat.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
I did the whole thing. I wanted to experience that. And it's like in May, I think. I forget the details, but
yeah, it is May.
I wanted to go try everything, run for the roses and all that kind of stuff and all the fancy dress.
My fiance wants to hit it, so I'm going to have to take
You
her.
got to.
Yeah.
So you're engaged?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Jennifer.
And where'd you meet? Where's she from?
She's from Harlan, Kentucky. Met her, ironically, actually, when I had only like 30 days. Met her at a meeting.
Well, I want to get into that because I didn't know they had meetings in Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to cross state lines? I mean,
No.
So, your story basically is that you're an addict or alcoholic or some sort of combination, and you lost everything at one point.
Yeah.
You basically were homeless. Is that
Yeah.
homeless in Kentucky?
Basically started from scratch in 2019.
In 2019. So
Yeah.
this is recent? I didn't know that. I thought you were in the game for much longer than that. I'm sorry. 2000, right before COVID?
Yeah. Right.
And then you had to start over when everybody was locked down?
Yeah. Well, ironically, it was like while everybody was, all frantically and everything's locked down, I'm like, that was the best year of my life, man. Literally started getting healthy, started, running full speed. I'm like, well, if active addiction and alcoholism didn't kill me, COVID ain't gonna, so it didn't even faze me.
I love it. So,
And I was secluded, like off the grid, getting sober. So it's like it literally didn't even affect me.
The audience might not know all these type of things because I'm not just like a sober or recovery podcast, and I'm not just about finance, and I'm not just about prison.
Right.
I mean, I'm sort of, I stand on a bunch of different pillars. They tell me my team is very, very stressed out. They want to make sure that I don't have one particular lane.
Yeah.
It's easy to build a podcast.
You got to stay versatile.
Yeah. So I have like a general podcast, but how old a guy are you?
43.
43. So you could be like my son. I hate to say it. Oy vey.
Nice.
Oy vey. Yeah. I'm 68.
Oh, wow. Look good for 68.
Went to the cardiologist this morning.
Okay.
He says, I got bad news for you, Mr. Smith. I said, what? He said, you're going to be coming here for another 20, 30 years. Your heart's very good.
Nice.
I said,
The
damn.
good, bad news.
I was, like a typical addict. I was steeled for bad news. I'm sure I was going to have an, an open heart transplant or,
Right.
open heart surgery.
Worst case
That
scenario.
they were going to call 911 and tell me we got to get an ambulance right now. I mean, I'm all ready, guys. I have my whole apartments ready to go in case I wasn't coming home for a month.
Right.
That's how.
That's how we're thinking is
That's
sometimes.
how crazy we are. I mean, it's like that. It's you knew what you're beginning the journey, but I just want to say, it never goes away. The tapes always come back, but you just understand how to deal with it. It's just a different type of thing.
Right.
So, you're 43. You were born and raised. Tell us your story. Tell us what early life was like, where you come from. I love to know all these things.
Yeah. Grew up in a good middle class home, Saratoga Springs, New York. Had every advantage known to man. Good family.
What'd your dad do?
My dad was an attorney for the union.
An attorney for the union.
Yeah.
That's like half a gangster. Okay, that's good.
Right. And mom worked for the phone company. It was like, I mean, you would actually know all these. It was like New York Tel, then
course.
9X, then Bell Atlantic, then she retired
I was
from
there when
Verizon.
AT&T. It was one of the best investments I ever sold in my life. Then AT&T was forced to break up into 7 components. I pitched that for a year straight and made a fortune of money. And every one of my clients, 40 years later, if I run into somebody or hear from somebody, they say, thank you. I made so much money in New York Tel, Pactel. I mean, 7 different, all ended up becoming worth more valuable than AT&T when it began.
Nice.
Like unbelievable. And it was the beginning of IRAs too. I mean, I'm like a dinosaur. I go back.
Right.
And I'll never forget that pitch. It was a great time. So your mom worked for the phone company. Your dad was a lawyer for the union.
Yeah, and before he did that, he actually worked for the phone company too, and then retired at like 45 with a pension, and then did that.
Okay, so did you stay in? You grew up there. Saratoga Springs was like elementary school and high school and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I grew up there, and knew when I was like 14, first time I ever drank. It was funny. My friend Josh actually bartendered up like 15 shots of these White Russians. Never drank before in my life.
My friend Stevie still orders White Russians and Black Russians. And all that.
Just the smell alone after that experience, man. I drank like 15 shots in 15 minutes, first time ever drinking. And I just remember like an hour later, you remember those little Mongoose Villain bicycles?
Of course.
And with the front and the back pegs.
Yeah.
So I'm riding this thing down in my neighborhood, Terrell Hills. It's full of hills. And I hit the hump onto my parents', in our little suburban yard. And I flip into it, head over heels, and crash the bike, end up, barely getting up the stairs, puked all over the stairs. Parents were pissed. I ended up having to miss school the next day. So looking back, I'm like, I was like alcoholic right off the rip.
Well, no, if you weren't an alcoholic, you probably might not have had a drink for another 10 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? But,
that would have been enough of an
just
experience.
like me, I drank, I got sick, and I just couldn't wait to come back. The day later, I swore it off for an hour, and then I was right back on the, on the horse. It's crazy.
Right.
So 14, you started drinking, essentially.
Yeah. Started smoking weed same time. And
were you good in school? Or?
I was good in school until it got, up to like almost like senior year. And then obviously now I'm like ditching classes so much and, just partying and whatnot that ended up having to actually get my GED. I actually graduated school early because I missed so many classes. I was just like, well, I'll just take this test and get out of here.
I didn't even know you can do that.
Yeah. So I did that. And so ironically, that would have put me in a position knowing what I know now. I could have went, to college right at 17 and been ahead of everybody. But I'm like, I didn't, of course.
Well, your dad's son, he's an attorney. He has to have some smarts in your genetic makeup, right? I mean, you grew up with brothers, sisters, by the way?
Oh, yeah. 2 older sisters and older brother. They're all 12, 14, and 16 years older than me. So I was by far the baby.
You're the prince.
And
you're the prince, right?
Great family, man. Great siblings.
I see it now. Just me. We've never met before, correct?
Right.
Never really spoken, right?
No.
We just been on social media for a minute. So I see it already. I see the prince in you. I get it. I swear to you. It's amazing. Once you get to a certain point in life, you start seeing like patterns and different things. So, the sisters must have babied you, coddled you. You had bigger brothers to, I feel like the youngest kids are always the most advanced in many ways because you experience a lot of things from.
Right. You learn from everybody else
that's
already got the lived experience. Yeah.
As a firstborn, it was like, I was out in the world by myself.
Right.
Wildness. So now you start drinking. You actually take your GED while you're a kid, while you're in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And then what happens after high school?
So
did you go to college?
Yeah. So I actually went to college at 19, and then this is when it all started. So you remember obviously being a New Yorker as well, 9/11. So 9/11 hits. I'm 19. It's 2001. Everybody's pissed. Everybody wants to go in the military, and so we went to a party. I had like 3 friends leaving for the Air Force, Marines, and the Army.
Really?
So we're, sending everybody off. And I just remember leaving the party. I looked at my best friend, Justin. He was driving. I looked at him just like I'm looking at you. I'm like, you all right to drive? And he's like, yeah. Seemed totally fine. I was like, all right. And I remember my friend Jeremy was like, peel the tires. He just got like a new 99 Grand Prix wide track. And so we kicked that thing out. He's driving. And I see the speedometer like 60, 70, now it's starting to go closer to 80. So I start to get nervous because there's a stop sign coming up like a quarter mile ahead. I'm like, dude, slow down. See like 90 and then it keeps going. Now I'm screaming like a little girl. I'm like, slow down, like to the top of my lungs.
You in the hot seat?
Yeah, I'm in the driver or the passenger seat.
Yeah,
he's the driver.
Yeah.
And so we go through this little like hump where the stop sign is, and you just see like a bunch of cars here in an apartment complex, and then across the street a bunch of cars in another apartment complex. We're literally going at these cars at like in excess of 110 miles an hour now, Ross.
Christ almighty.
And I just see him crank the wheel all the way to the right. I just remember hearing like pop, 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 pop. I guess all 4 tires popped. The car flipped like 6 times,
Oh
they said.
my God.
And what saved my life was 2 trees like 8 feet apart, caught the car like diagonally. I didn't know it then, but he got ejected, got his throat slit. I literally ended up hanging upside down 18 feet in the air out of the driver's seat.
Oh my God.
With my foot jammed in the windshield, my other foot jammed in the steering wheel, my arms behind my head with a compound fracture, my ulna and radius are sticking out. And the doctor said, man, it was like a 1 in 2 million chance that I live. So I know God had a purpose for me.
Holy.
And
you had a seatbelt on, right?
so if he had his seatbelt on, he'd probably be alive.
Oh, he died.
If I had my seatbelt on, I'd be dead because the whole right side of the car was crushed in.
Wow.
Yeah. Talk about a traumatic experience at 19.
I'm thinking about all those painkillers they probably gave you.
Woke up on a morphine drip in the hospital. Never
yeah.
took a painkiller in my life before that.
Yeah. Yeah. Compound fracture in your own shoulder and what?
Yeah, I had to get...
you have no scars on your face, I see. I see your wrist. I see
skin
that.
graft and then
I
plates
see
and
that.
screws.
Your
But
face,
I mean...
though, is...
Oh, yeah, that was the only injury, which is amazing.
Amazing.
I should have been definitely sipping food out of a straw or dead.
That's God's will.
Yeah.
And the driver died.
Yeah. Best friend died, and I didn't know it, man. So I'm laying there in the hospital.
Oh,
and
they didn't tell you right away.
No, because they thought I'd go into shock.
I get it.
Yeah. And so nobody could tell me for a few days. And I'm like, where's Justin? You know, once I came to, like, wondering where this dude is. And they're like, oh, he's in Saratoga. So I'm thinking, like, I got helicoptered to Albany Med, the capital. So I'm in like an intensive trauma unit.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, they said Saratoga. I'm like, this dude broke his pinky. Now I'm all pissed off. Like, he's fine and I'm dying. And they didn't tell me, you know, obviously he died in helicopter en route to Albany Med. So they turned the helicopter around, brought him to Saratoga.
You were 19.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2001. And so you're in the hospital for
a
month?
I think it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
That's all? Okay.
Yeah.
And you go home? They take you home?
Go home. They got me like a nurse that would like come over
Right.
and do my bandages and all that stuff. And sent me home, bro, with Oxy 40s with 11 refills. 19 years old, Purdue Pharmaceutical, non-addictive substances.
Non-addictive.
Yeah.
Not habit forming.
No.
It's safe.
Pain management.
Well, the thing is, you probably did need them at some point. I mean,
I probably needed them for
I'm
5 days.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer in medication. I'm a believer in medication. I'm also a believer in over-medication. That's my problem. So, you know, I take medication. I have to be very, very mindful because it doesn't matter what it is. Even if it's a pill, it doesn't affect me at all.
Right.
My tendency is just to take more is better. It's a sick attitude I have. I spent 7 years in therapy after I got clean because I was not happy with my. I wanted more. I wanted more. Even I wanted more sobriety. I wanted more and more and more.
Right.
So now you're home, basically in bed or around the house.
Yeah.
And you're taking pills.
Yeah.
Healing.
Mm-hmm.
Did the arm ever heal all the way or?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's probably
Shoulder?
probably stronger than it was with the titanium in it.
Yeah. You got lucky though.
Oh yeah.
You really got lucky. Okay, so were you an addict by that time or not really?
No. So, you know, like I said, I'd experimented, you know, I'd drinking,
It's my
smoking
story, I
weed,
get
doing mushrooms, acid once in a while, like a concert or something, but nothing like hardcore drugs on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what happened with life at this point?
So progressed. So now I'm selling weed, you know, very social, same way I am now, but, you know, with a criminal mindset.
In a healthy way.
So I was
I'm dealing drugs in a healthy way.
Yeah.
That's how we think.
It's only weed.
Bro, that's how we think.
It's only weed. So I'm selling, you know, 30, 40 pounds of weed a week and making hand over fist with money. And just the justification is, you know, I'm not selling heroin or coke or I'm not killing people. It's only weed. It should be legal.
Mother Nature. It grows in the ground.
Right.
And now it's legal.
Right.
So guess what? You weren't even doing anything wrong.
Right.
Really, it's precious. These you know, these stories we tell ourselves is great.
Right.
It's just so great. Go ahead. I want to hear more. I'm getting all affected.
Yeah. And so, you know, now I'm doing this for a living.
You still living at home?
No. So I had an apartment in Saratoga. And then once I got really big into that, I actually had one in Albany too. So that's why I could be closer to the college and, you know, my girl and stuff. And then also have like a stash house and then be able to go home whenever I wanted. So it was like only 30 miles away. So it's like a good, you know, keep this here, live here.
I wish I didn't understand.
Right. Right. The criminal mindset.
I wish I did not understand.
But the cool thing is once that all switches years later, which we'll get to, I use all that, but for good. So it's like,
Well, I got it.
I just had to switch gears.
100%. I get
Yeah.
it 100%.
So I'm doing that. And then now I realize I end up taking like methadone. So I realized by taking a 40 milligram methadone, I'm like, wow, I'm straight for a couple days. You know, I got to take these things multiple times a day. It keeps me good longer. So now I end up,
You went from oxys to methadone, or the oxys were behind you now?
yeah, well, for the most part. And so I started taking methadone. Then I realized there's actually like these little clinics. So you can go, you know, I didn't realize, you know, what that was going to lead to, or I wouldn't have, of course, got into that. But who wakes up and says, I want to be in a methadone clinic, you know?
It's one thing I never tried.
Yeah. So I end up now I'm drinking 160 milligrams of methadone in a dose daily at a clinic, and then going to the
Legally.
Yeah.
And then dealing drugs.
Right.
Really.
And then realizing that, oh, wow, if I take some Xanax or some Klonopin with it, it feels like I'm taking Oxy 80s. So now I'm pounding these things in the parking lot before I leave the clinic, man.
It's the craziest
I
thing.
like, you want to talk about, that's probably the, I don't know, I guess the analogy would be, I talk about living through the car accident. It's a miracle. It's a miracle that I lived through a methadone clinic with benzos every day on those high doses. That my
God has a
respiratory
plan for you,
system
bro.
didn't shut down.
God has a plan for you.
Yeah.
I mean that. It's just as clear as day. I'm on social media, and I'm scrolling, and I'm seeing like 19-year-old influencer dies, 23-year-old influencer dies,
Right.
and here you're fucking like you're a methadone veteran. You know, car crashes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, actually, Roxy. I mean, I can't even imagine the things you've done. And you're sitting here and you look beautiful and you're handsome and you're well built and well put together and a sane mind.
Thanks.
And then some people, 19, 23, 30, they're dropping like flies.
Right.
Dropping like flies. I just saw a thing at there was a Miami Dolphin game recently, and there was a couple that were just, you know, they were a couple. He had his arm around her, and they were trying to wake him up at the end. The people cleaning the stadium, they had both overdosed on fentanyl and died in the middle of the game,
Right.
like this together.
Well, that's what's scary now, man. It's like if I was doing stuff like I was then now,
Dead.
I'd be dead.
Me,
Because like
dead.
now you think you're taking a Xanny
I'm
bar.
snorting
and it's like
everything.
pure
I'm
fentanyl.
dropping.
Right.
Is it any good? Oh yeah, it's a bootleg, but it's pretty good. It was
Right.
made in some guy's garage in somewhere,
Right.
and I'm smoking angel dust and all that kind of stuff and Special K. What's in it? I don't know. Weed fertilizer, horse tranquilizer.
Right.
Everything they sell at the Home Depot.
No fentanyl, thank God.
Fentanyl.
Yeah.
I would have wanted to do fentanyl. It's the craziest thing.
Right.
They say it kills people.
Oh yeah.
So okay, so you're really starting to roll now. How old are you?
Mid 20s.
Okay.
So
Still feeling good, right?
yeah, well, I'm still at the point
You got
then.
some money.
Yeah, like I'm still,
Got a little
like,
business?
yeah, got business going, traveling like
Got
I
some
do
cash
now,
flow?
but don't remember half of it,
Yeah, but I'm sure you had a good time.
Yeah, at that point, it hadn't gotten that bad yet. You know?
I get it.
And then over the next decade, it progressed, of course, really bad.
Decade. So you were out there for a minute.
Yeah, I was out there from 19 to 37,
That's a nice run.
18 years.
That's I did 16 to 33, 17 years.
Okay.
It seems to be like a thing. If you're lucky enough to, find the rooms, etc., then, but we look back and we can really understand our journey now with the benefit of hindsight,
Right.
Well,
Thank
we're in
God.
it. The fuck knows what's going on,
Right.
So, okay, now keep going.
So
and you still in
ironically-
upstate New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The methadone clinic's actually in Amsterdam, New York, like half an hour from Saratoga.
For drugs and alcohol, I would drive and go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I had to go for a lunch to meet somebody, I'm like, oh, it's out of the way. Forget it.
Exactly.
If it's 10 minutes out of my way,
Yeah, go
it's
3 hours each
it's so
direction for a
inconvenient.
bunch of drugs.
Doesn't matter. I've been on road trips. We went down to Florida from New York.
Right.
We drove from New York to Florida to get drugs.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but to go 10 minutes to a lunch or to meet somebody, I'm like, it's too inconvenient.
Right.
It's just unreasonable.
So ironically, I get off the methadone because I didn't want to have to keep taking that dose.
Was it
And
hard to get off?
You
were swapping. You were switching.
I
swapping.
switched, but still, the withdrawal that I did have from that, I actually had to get it out of my system before I could even take the new drug that was a savior, Suboxone. So when they came out with that,
Wow.
I got off the methadone, and they said, make sure it's out of your system for like 5 to 7 days before you take the Suboxone, or else it'll put you into immediate withdrawal. And I obviously wasn't trying to do
Really?
that. So it got me so
It's
sick.
a very big thing in prison right now. They have Suboxone programs. You could literally go to you can't get a fucking Tylenol, but if you say you're an addict and you're an opiate addict, they'll give you Suboxone. They'll put you in a program. This is today.
Wow.
This is right now in federal prison.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's crazy.
So half the guys are taking Suboxone, but it's legal. The other half are taking it and they're selling it.
Where ironically, most times it's like getting locked up is the only thing that does actually get you sober, because it's like, you might not have had another way if that didn't happen. So
Right.
It's like now they're even taking that away.
Well, they're giving it away. I swear to you. It's like there was a lineup at medical.
Right.
200 guys waiting to get into it. What's going on?
Well,
Why
and
is
don't get me
everybody
wrong.
sick?
I'm not ever going to try and tell anybody how to recover. Everybody recovery is different.
Yeah.
But for me, it definitely didn't work. I got to take nothing.
So you took methadone for a minute.
Yeah, I took methadone for a couple years.
Because I heard the withdrawal from methadone was bad.
Worse, yeah.
That's what I heard.
Horrible. And
Yeah.
then Suboxone's not too far behind it, because they
Really?
both stay in your bones for so long. It's almost like that just stays in you, man.
In your bones? I never heard
Yeah,
that
like
expression.
methadone goes all the way like in your bones.
When I was in rehab in 1990 and I was coming off of benzodiazepines,
Phew. That was what almost...
so grand mal seizure and all that stuff, I was taking 20, 30 Valium a day to take the edge off.
I had manipulated when I was on all this stuff. So when I switched to Suboxone, because I'm not on methadone anymore, I was able to manipulate a doctor into give me 90s antibars a month too.
Oh my God.
So now I'm getting 92 milligrams Xanax and Suboxone.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget. I was in the rehab in Connecticut, the Silver Hill Foundation.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
I've heard of it.
Rehab, great hospital, and we were in a detox unit. I was there for like 20 days, and the guys that were withdrawing from heroin and methadone would cry at night.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was just wide awake because
Right.
I was taking 20 Valium a day,
Right.
and all of a sudden I've got nothing. I'm like, I don't think I slept for a year. Like I would sleep for like an hour and felt like I was so well rested.
Right.
But they would sob and cry at night. And I'd be like, what the fuck's going on upstairs? Was that the heroin guys? There was like a status when I got clean. Like no matter what you were doing, you weren't as bad as the heroin and methadone guys. Those guys had
Right.
their own elite status. And I used to feel good about myself because I wasn't that bad.
Right. I never went in that direction.
20 to 30 a day. That didn't include all the weed I was smoking and the other drugs I was taking and the fact I could drink a bottle of alcohol on 20, a Valium 10, the blues with the little
Right.
hearts in them.
Right.
I drink a whole, myself, I could drink a whole bottle of vodka and then go out.
Right.
I had to take the edge off.
Yeah.
People say to me, what does that mean? I can't explain it. What does the edge mean?
Yeah, I definitely didn't discriminate. I liked Valium, lorazepam,
You're on some hard shit.
Ativan,
The
Klonopin.
Suboxone, they say,
Yeah.
Meta, these are narcotics. These are not like regular drugs.
Right.
Like you're much worse than me.
Exactly. I'm not unique.
In my head, I got
Right.
that voice in my head.
Yeah.
It's
I was never.
this guy's a
I
bad
was never
guy.
as bad as that guy.
This guy's a bad guy.
Right.
He's an elite status, but those heroin guys would cry at night, and they was like, "It's in my bones." So luckily, I didn't have that. I had a couple of seizures. Miles, almost
Right.
died, but
Yeah, that'll happen coming off Valium or alcohol.
Yeah.
Those are the only two drugs you can actually die from: is
Yeah.
alcohol and benzo withdrawal.
that's what they told me. Yeah, that's why my detox took so many days. It was like,
Mine too.
yeah,
I actually
can't imagine.
started scaring people. So now I get to the point to where it's been that long that like I gotta do something.
So
different,
tell us,
man.
so before you actually got well,
I was on Suboxone, man, for like a decade, and like
they didn't even have these drugs when I was using it.
right
So.
in the madness, and then by
It's like a strip, right?
yeah, well they were
And you
strips. Now
snort
they're
it,
like
you
pills.
put water on it. They pills now.
Yeah, you just put it under your tongue and it
In
dissolves.
prison, they were giving guys like these strips, and the guys
Right.
would cut them up, and they would just put water on them and snort them with a pen.
Yeah,
in prison, you
I
have
would
to-
just put it under my tongue and then it dissolved.
You take
It
a whole
was,
strip.
it was sublingual.
Little.
Well,
little
I
pieces
could.
of
I mean,
strips.
honestly, the irony with that is you could take a little piece of it and be fine, or you could take the whole thing and basically do the same thing. So it's just
hit or miss.
Yeah.
Crazy. So I'm interested.
like you'd be all right with 2 milligrams as you are with 8 milligrams. You know what I
Really?
mean? So it's like
It gets you high though.
if you're not used to it, it'd be insanely high. You'd probably be puking your brains out. But if you're used to it, it don't do anything. It just basically makes you straight and not having withdrawal.
Takes the edge off.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Right.
I don't know what that means though. Wow. So now, where are you physically? You still in New York?
Yeah, so I'm in New York. No, I need to do something different. Brother comes back to visit or whatever, and he like sees how I'm living. Now I'm basically like in a trap house, like basically just living in a horrible like basement apartment, barely getting sunshine, just kind of like secluded to the point like now I'm like just withdrawn, depressed, hopeless. Kind of like I've been doing this for a minute, right? And he's like, "Why don't you come out to Kentucky, man?"
So you're not having any success in life.
Now it had all that fun and all that glamour and
the
all that
money from
money and
selling the
everything.
weed.
Now that's all gone. So now I'm just like literally, on a clinic taking benzos and taking Suboxone and just
Feeding your habit. But
existing.
it's expensive, right?
Yeah, existing. Well, I had doctors for both of them, but
I got you.
yeah, so my brother's a great influence. He's a biblical counselor, got his master's degree in counseling. And
God really wants, he's got a plan for you.
yeah, so then he's like, "Why don't you come out to Kentucky, man? Nothing good coming on here." I'm like, "Well, fresh start might be
I
great."
was wondering how you got to Kentucky.
Yeah,
so biblical guy. Okay.
Yeah,
How
so I go
funny.
out there. Now I'm in northern Kentucky, close to Cincinnati. Wanted to do something different, just didn't know how. So now I use the old New York manipulation tactics. I get my Suboxone sent out there. So now I'm getting these through a doctor in Kentucky. And then I get the benzos sent to Ohio. So this way I can cross the border because this Suboxone doctor ain't like New York. They ain't going to let me take both of them. So then there's a Casper report, doesn't know about it or even know I'm getting it. I just go pay cash for the ones in Cincinnati and then go to the doctor with my Kentucky insurance in Kentucky.
And I think the states now monitor things more seriously. In my day,
yeah,
you
I think
could go to
that
8
Casper,
doctors on the same block in
right.
New York City, and,
right.
and there would be now. I hear that they have like the
Federal,
state has these,
right.
But states monitor more so. So if you go from one state, guys go from one state, they go in the Panhandle in Florida, they cross over into Alabama, Georgia, and each state monitors it. But you could hit different doctors like that. I'm told,
right?
But I don't really care,
right?
But,
yeah, I don't anymore.
They've tightened up a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, I think it's a lot more tight than it was then.
Thing that happened and all that, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing that, and then one day I just had this epiphany. It was definitely a God thing. I'm like, I'd rather be dead than live another day like this, jingling. Walking around.
So
like
there was no event that like the car accident in Kentucky. You know what I'm saying?
It was just I was sick and tired of being sick and tired,
I
man, and just didn't know how to do something different. Never been to treatment, never been to anything like that. And then
so even though you're with your brother in Kentucky, new start, you did a geographic. You just took your drugs with you.
Oh yeah, so I still did everything there for like a year before finally.
And he was aware of this?
Yeah, I didn't live with him. I had like my own apartment.
Okay.
But yeah, he was aware. And I went to detox, man. First time in my life. Went to the Ridge in Lexington and scared him. I was coming out, like you said. I was supposed to be like a 5-day detox. I was there 16 days. They locked me. They locked it. So I'm all social. I'm my normal self. I'm the hit of the whole detox.
Yeah.
The place is going great. It's fun. Then, I start coming off the benzos and hallucinating, going insane.
I get it.
And they put me in like the old folks wing, man. Now I'm with like, 80, 90-year-old people in a total different wing that they shut down.
The acute care unit, they call it.
Yeah, that's where they put me.
Acute care. That's where they put me.
Yeah. And
it wasn't cute.
I'm there for, so long that at some point they're like, you got to get out of here. And the only thing, having my dad as an attorney for the union, of course, I'm never, ever signing something without totally reading the contract, understanding every word of it, like very adamant about contracts.
I love that.
And if I didn't understand it, get consultation that does understand it, right? I'm not signing anything. But hallucinating, and the only thing that even I remember on this whole paper was the word London. I'm like, this is great. We'll go overseas, Big Ben, the Thames, Parliament. This will be fun.
I do.
Nah, man, I end up in London, Kentucky, in the middle of nowhere at this treatment center. And pull in
after detox.
Yeah. I remember it's 30-day residential. I remember these people coming out in blue shirts, and I'm like, oh Lord, karma's real, man. They're gonna hit me with a Thorazine shot and put me in one of these padded rooms. Like, this is my fate. Like, you want to talk about scared, hallucinating, coming off the benzos? I thought it was like that was the end.
You did the Thorazine shuffle, they call
it. Exactly. But best thing that ever happened, man. It was a good program, and the cool thing was everybody there had lived experience.
What year was this now?
2019.
So, bro, this is just like. What? Recently?
Yeah, like 6.5 years ago or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And so literally the therapists, they all have lived experience. So, the director of the whole place was in AA.
Correct.
The therapist, had over a decade sober, and God gave me the perfect therapist because this guy had benzos, had opiates, went through all that, came out on the other side, got in a bad motorcycle accident, and had his left arm, all messed up and stuff. So it was like
Wow.
super relatable experience.
I get it.
And started hitting meetings for the first time in my life, started learning about recovery.
You had meetings right there?
Yeah. So I went
They
to
let you outside of the facility?
no,
Or
but
they
they
bring
had
'em in?
like they had groups there,
Yeah.
AA and NA groups, but then they also let us have like our own like house meeting, like a group and stuff.
Wow.
So there was groups with the staff and then groups just us.
And did you make a connection right away with the program? Did you feel right?
Once I got sane after like a couple weeks, yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
And
that's how I felt.
the cool thing is,
You only went to one rehab, one detox.
yeah,
Yeah. It's very unusual today. I mean, guys, 5, 6, 8 detoxes, rehabs. I'm like,
right.
I feel like I got cheated.
Well, the crazy part was too, man, that I didn't know anything about recovery. I didn't know anything,
Right.
And obviously, if I did, of course, I would have done it way sooner.
I mean, same thing.
But I had just went to that detox to come off the benzos. Like, I mean, in my head, I went there to come off everything, but manipulating when I got in there, I'm like, well, I can't get off. This is crazy. I'm already like hallucinating.
Right.
So I got him to keep me on the Suboxone. Now I'm just getting off the benzos. When I got to the rehab and actually started learning about everything and learning about recovery, they had some accountability, which was cool, which was what I needed. They weren't like light on me. They're like, stop being a pussy. Why don't you get off the Suboxone too and be totally sober? Like literally like, hitting me to like get off.
Still
like,
on all that?
I was still on the Suboxone. Yeah, after I got off the benzo. So I'm like 2 weeks into the 30-day program off benzos, but still on Suboxone. So then I'm like, you know what? I realized for the first time in my life, I don't have to take anything. I could actually leave this place free.
But let me ask
So
you
I
a
got
question.
off. So I
you
got off
were
them
allowed
too.
to stay on the Suboxone?
Yeah.
I never even heard of anything like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, any rehab or any outpatient facility you go to now has medically assisted treatment. Yeah, you can be on Suboxone, methadone, any kind of treatment like that.
It's just a crazy thing, right?
But I went off old school.
Listen, that's it makes it easier.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry what I'm doing. I'm doing nothing.
Right.
You know
well,
what I mean?
and I'm actually free because for me, the other stuff didn't work. Obviously, it took 2 decades of my life almost.
Well, I get it. It's an experience, though. Look, you have that experience for whatever the reason. Think about how you can help people.
Right.
If you didn't have that experience, you understand now what the MAT program is, what it isn't. You might not be the guy sitting here today that has a successful apparel company, hitting all these different podcasts, being able to talk about it, a fiance, starting a new business. I mean,
Yeah.
you're building a life now.
A lot of good stuff, man.
They keep you on that dope. Who knows what it's going to be, right?
Right.
I get it.
Yeah. Now we're just trying to inspire some people.
GITT. I love it, bro. Okay, so what happens now? You obviously get clean.
So yeah, get sober. Leave the 30-day treatment. Went to a sober living for about 4 months.
Wow, you really were.
In Corbin, Kentucky. So now I got
You dove right in.
hit 90 meetings, 90 days. Old school. Went to so here was the game changer for me. So now I got like 4.5 months sober. My brother convinces me to go to a ministry in Indiana for addicts and alcoholics. Totally off the grid, like London, Kentucky, but in Indiana.
You're in the middle of nowhere.
And so now, again, I'm in the middle of nowhere. God doing for me what I couldn't do for myself. I didn't know you couldn't have a phone, you couldn't have a computer, you couldn't smoke, you couldn't vape. So if I would have known all that, I would have never went.
I get it.
But now I get here, right? And for the first time in my life, I have this epiphany, like, stop burdening other people. You're a 37-year-old adult. Man up and learn how to live life. So I do that and let it sit in. I'm there for 9.5 months. Learned a ton of stuff, man. Learned how to breathe, be out in nature, just do breath work, learn construction. So ironically, I get put in a ministry and the guy ends up being a master carpenter. You want to talk about a God thing? He used to be like a basketball player. He's like 6'8", really good dude, was a college basketball player, and just great spiritual influence. And we did service work. We go out in the community and do construction for like 4 hours a day as part of the program.
I get it.
Be in the Word and, just like work out, get sunlight, and just, now I got the dopamine and serotonin going the right way for the first time in my life, learning how to get the same receptors going naturally.
I get it. It's that's a God thing for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really something. You got a very interesting story, I'm going to say. I've heard a lot of different stories. Your story is it's very spiritual in an odd way.
Yeah, so I leave there and I got over a year sober and I'm like, man, I went to school when I was 19, that car accident happened. Like, I want to finish what I started. I don't want to have like, 30 grand in student loans and not even have a degree. So I go back to school full time.
Where was that now? In Kentucky?
Well, I was started going through New York, through the school I went to and got credits earlier online. But then I realized, now I'm paying out of state tuition and all this other stuff just to be on the computer. So I switched to Northern Kentucky University in Kentucky. But I start utilizing the construction and the trade that I learned. So now I'm making, $25 an hour when I got out of there, but working crazy hours. So saving a ton of money because the expenses are very low. And once I get a good chunk of change, I'm like, what can I do that I was good at, like selling pounds of weed and selling drugs, but in a positive manner. So it's like I joke with the Star Wars analogy, like I switched from the dark side to the light side. So I'm like, well, I'm from New York, fashion place of the world, like, and I was wearing.
Saratoga is not quite as fashion.
No, garment district in New York City. But I mean, I was in the city like all the time.
I get it, of course. I get it.
Like people like to go from the city to Toga. People from Toga like to go to the city, let alone all the connections through the drug network.
It's quite a drive.
Yeah, it's like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah, I made that drive.
Oh yeah, tons of times.
Yeah.
Sometimes weekly.
Yeah, I did for sure.
Yeah.
It was 3.5 hours to Albany.
Right.
But all right, so go ahead. So you eventually find your lane in the real world. Is that it?
Yeah, I find my lane, and so the positive thing, I'm like, start a clothing company and inspirational message.
Let's start a clothing.
Get in the truck, do something different, get inspired, get motivated, get whatever you want out of life. Focusing on like mental, physical, and spiritual well-being, like promoting a healthy lifestyle for the first time, and just basically doing what I'm doing, going full throttle.
What year was that now?
2021, when I had about 2 years sober.
And we were still locked down a little bit, right? But still just starting to open up,
just starting to come out of it. And but like I said, that time for me, I'm like, I just came off an 18-year run, best time of my life. All I'm doing is going up, man.
That pink cloud, bro.
Yeah, that forward momentum.
Can't go any lower. I get it.
School, work, start a new business, sober, feeling healthy.
It's the greatest thing about a bottom. All this time now, you're a young guy, not that young. You're not a kid. You're a man. No women in your life. All that time?
During that, well, I mean, not a real relationship, but yeah, tons of them.
Yeah, you're a good-looking guy. You got a great tongue on you, so in and out, right?
Right.
A bunch of
didn't know how to have a real relationship though, and definitely wasn't sober.
I get it. It took me a long time too. So it's a great thing. So go ahead.
Only relationship I've had since being sober though. I'm still with, and we're getting married in May. We'll be together 5 years in February.
You're not holding each other hostage, are you?
No, not at all.
She's in the program?
Well, she's got 16 years sober if she makes it to November 1st, Lord willing.
God willing.
Yeah.
16.
Great,
so
you
went for some time. You went for a woman that has time.
Right.
And she's healed up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
Where was she from?
Harlan, Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she wasn't part of GITT in the beginning, no, right?
No. So it was me and my sister, actually.
Right. I read that.
AJ's clothing company, which you see on the back of a lot of my stuff, Adam and Jeanette. Yeah. And then ironically, like you said, though, she probably will be in the future. Now it's Adam and Jen, so I don't even got to change it.
I love it.
I just keep the AJs.
You're in the AJ. AJ's a great, where I grew up on Long Island outside of Manhattan, there was a very famous bar restaurant on the water in a place called Atlantic Beach, Long Island, called AJ's.
Are you like Fire Island, Five Towns?
5 Towns.
Nice.
I'm a 5 Towns kid.
Okay.
And, you talk to anybody that comes from the South Shore line, you mention AJ's and you see a smile.
Right.
The greatest times there. People pulling up on boats and this and that. And I eventually I got sober, I got married, and as a wedding gift, I bought my wife a big house on the water.
Nice.
On the beach in Atlantic Beach.
Okay.
I'll never forget the first time I took her to AJ's. She goes, "It's so nice here." Because I wanted to go by in the Hamptons.
Right.
And she's like, "Why would you want to go all the way out on Long Island? We're right here." Because we lived in Manhattan, so it was very close. So, it was a good thing. It was a real sober decision. I wasn't used to that, even after I was clean for years.
Right.
You'll see that you're going to really, you're on a very interesting trajectory. And all the things you think you know now are going to be very different in 5 years. You'll be like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Right. You learn as you go.
It's the craziest thing. But it's accelerated learning.
Well, and that's also the philosophy I have, always remain teachable. The second I think I know everything, that's a recipe for disaster.
I never think that.
Right.
Every day I realize how less smart I am. Every day. Right. I'm 68. I'm still a moron, and it's funny how much I learn every single day. And sometimes you doubt God and you worry and you stress out. And, whatever the plan is, guess what? Go with the flow. Enjoy whatever you get because it's His will, not your will.
every day's a gift, man. I could get hit by a bus tonight sober, you know. It doesn't mean because you're not using that you're
And
safe.
it does happen.
Right.
Trust me. I walked into prison sober and was like, what the hell did I do here? You know, the craziest fucking thing on earth. I mean, I was like, what the hell? What's the message here?
Right.
There's always something. All right. So GITT, you start this company, and where'd you come up with the idea? And
so ironically, my sister had said when we were like younger, just like, come on, man, just get in the truck or whatever. And then
love it.
And now like snap something, but also you hear that like in meetings, you know, like just get in the car, just get in the truck, you know, let's go to a meeting. So it's like,
I love
kind
that.
of had like a double standard. And then once I started doing marketing, you know, I didn't have $100K to pay some marketing company or whatever. So I'm like, well, I need to start shooting videos and posting stuff because I saw it was everybody doing to promote their products. And ironically, until 21, I wasn't even on social media because what am I going to do, right? I'm a drug dealer. I'm going to incriminate myself, be on Facebook Messenger getting arrested or something. So I basically started from scratch with the social media game, you know, 4 years ago.
And how's it going?
Crushing it, bro. Got a few 100,000 followers.
That's real.
And, you know, a lot of, you know, how it is when you get a decent following, it's like you hit a button and that many people see it. That helps.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I just got 100,000.
Right.
And I'm like 100 years old.
Right.
Just got
That's
100,000 followers on Instagram, and it's like nuts what's going on.
Yeah. And then it'll keep just forward momentum.
It's wild. Momentum.
Consistency. And I see you posting like, you know, daily and stuff. That's what it takes.
We have a team, and it's just really happening. So it's wild, and it's
right.
It's very rewarding, and I'm enjoying it. You know, it's great. You know, a year ago, my kid sat me down and said, Dad, you're an embarrassment. Dad, you're too old to be an influencer.
Right.
Nobody cares what you have to say. And they unfollowed me. My ex-wife and my kids unfollowed me.
Oh, wow.
You know, it was one of those moments I was like, am I out of my mind? I know I'm out of my mind.
Like, that's not very nice.
I accept that, right? But I said, okay, what am I going to tell you? And then a few weeks ago, I get a call from my oldest. Dad, you know, Colin followed you on Instagram. I said, okay. He goes, no, Dad, you have to follow him back, Dad. I said, okay, I promise you, I'll follow him back. She's like, no, you're staying on the phone until you do it, Dad. This is the kid that unfollowed me and told me I'm an embarrassment.
Right.
And it was a moment, you know, one of those little moments.
Yeah.
And now they all follow me, and all their friends follow me, and
right.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
You know, because I guess somebody cares what I have to say.
Well, not let alone you took the perseverance, you know, don't let somebody else discourage you from doing what you want to do.
You know, I look back now, a year later, and I understand where they were coming from. They came from a place of love.
Right.
The fact that they told me that I'm embarrassing them, you know, that hurt me.
But it probably also motivated you more to get to where you're at now.
I just, you know, I talk to God every day, and it was his will. You know, I want to stop fighting. All my life, I'm a disruptor. You know, if you tell me the stream's going downhill, I'm going uphill. You know what I mean?
Right.
If there was a way to ski uphill, I would have figured it out. You know what I mean? I'm that kind of a guy. And same thing in the stock market. You know, but you know, being a contrarian in that business is healthy.
Right.
But and that's why I was so successful at it. Because as an addict with an addict mentality, I'm a contrarian. And that you win in finance with that attitude.
Right.
But the rest of life, sometimes you just want to go with the flow, baby. It's just like, you know, let me just get in a tire and go down the stream like a normal person.
Well, I'm learning all that too. I'll have to pick your brain sometime about that stuff. I bought a bunch of silver when it was like 25 an ounce. I bought gold when it was about 2,500 an ounce. I got them both at like 25. I maxed out the IRA Roth this year for the first time ever getting into one.
Good for you.
And then I'm trying to do more just in a regular brokerage account. And then I got, you know, maybe like 10 grand in Robinhood, just trying to learn everything and diversify and just get a lot of different things going. High interest savings.
I'm really good at all these kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, even when I was
definitely
stoned.
Pick your brain about it.
Even when I was stoned. So that was the miracle, you know.
Right.
That I just could figure it out. You know, I can't explain it. But, you know, I find that most of us are very gifted people. I feel like, and if we can overcome our issues, we have so much to offer the world. I've never met more gifted people than I met in AA, in the program.
Right.
Not taking Suboxone.
and hard workers.
Animals.
Yeah,
What do you mean? Animals. You know, I built a sober brokerage firm. You don't know this about my story, but
nice.
1995. You'd think it would be nice. The regulators went crazy against me.
Oh, wow.
Everyone went against me. I thought I'm doing a good thing. I'm only bringing people that are sober. We used to have meetings in the middle of the day, and people are like, this is outrageous.
Right.
And a bunch of alcoholics and drug addicts. Well, we're not drinking currently.
Right.
But it was like, I was so against the flow. It was so unaccepted, so uncool to the regulators all the way to Washington. To this day, I'm a pariah.
Wow.
I'm a pariah.
Weren't you on like American Greed or something?
I'm the finale of season 9.
Nice. I tried getting the episode when I heard you say that somewhere, but I can't find it. Like
Peacock TV.
Okay.
So you spend $5, you get it, then
Yeah.
you cancel it. So it costs nothing.
I'll check it out.
It's called The Sky's the Limit, because I formed Sky Capital. I owned a bank, several brokerage firms, trading firms. I'm the first American to go public on the London Stock Exchange.
Nice.
I put a regulated American business public on the London Stock Exchange. Never been done.
Wow.
They said it's impossible. I said, it's like the 4-minute mile. It's just never been done. And they're like, it's impossible, and it's never been done. And I did it quite handily, twice. Very proud of myself. And I didn't realize that I was in that business at that level. I fucked with people's money. They said I cost Lower Manhattan $100 billion on trading fees, commissions.
They tried making you out to be like a
profits.
Madoff?
They wanted to, they did. They wanted to punish me because they didn't want anybody else to be able to do so. I got to a very high level on Wall Street, and I did it without connections. I did it without being an Ivy Leaguer. I was literally a drug addict and alcoholic that graduated University of Maryland and started out as a cold caller, as a retail account opener, and had all kinds of problems because from 83 to 90, I was a wild man. I was one of the bad boys of Wall Street. I mean, I found a business where I could just go in and print money.
Did you ever see that Jordan Belfort dude?
Of course, he worked for us. What do you
Right.
mean? When I was making $200,000 a month, we hired him. That's where he got his license.
Okay.
At D.H. Blair, 44 Wall Street. I was this number 2 guy at one of the most famous boardrooms in the world. They want to make a movie out of it now. The same people that did The Wolf.
Nice.
Because The Wolf is made up, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't know that.
So he took from my story. In March 14th, 1996, they wrote a story about him, the bad boy of Wall Street. And I was in Forbes, the bad boy of Wall Street. He wasn't. He made that up. That was made up for the movie.
Oh, wow.
He made the Wolf of Wall Street up. I had Danny in here.
Did he make the 200 million or whatever they said he had?
No, he made 1 year, he made 49 million. And he got pissed because he didn't, it's the beginning of the movie, he didn't make $1 million a week. I made 65 million 1 year.
Nice.
But I was legit. I was a real stockbroker. He just taught a bunch of kids how to steal money.
And like penny stocks.
Right.
Right.
He taught kids how to steal money. Then he wore a wire and had 50 of them arrested that didn't even know to do anything wrong. That's the kind of guy he is. You know what I'm saying? They wanted me to rat out on senators, congressmen. I said no. I said, and I wanted to make a plea deal at one point. I could have done like a year in a camp or 6 months in a camp, 6 months home confinement, write a check for $10 million. And I said to my wife, I said, we should do this deal. And she said, you're going to stand in front of a judge, in front of the whole New York media, which is the world, and say that you robbed people and you stole from people and cheated people when you didn't? Because that's what you have to do when you make a plea deal. The judge makes you say it 25 times. I knowingly did this. I did this. I violated this. And then you're looking for a plea bargain. You're looking for a bargain. If you go to trial, you're not getting a bargain. I went to trial. I got 12 years. Spent $3.2 million. My lawyer was secretly representing his partner, who was an unindicted co-conspirator in my case. Wow. While he was representing me. And the government knew the whole thing. It was all, I was handed over to the government. It was like all theater.
What'd you have to do out of the 12, like 10?
I did 9 years, 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some real time.
It's real time. But what's worse is they took over $65 million from me. Yeah, bing, bang, boom, just like that. Even before I was found guilty or anything like that. That's how they are.
Wow.
It's a giant money, it's a giant money fuck, the whole thing. And now they let me out for COVID, sent me home. I was still in the custody. Then they brought me back 8 months later, illegally. Because I went on TV and I bashed the judge and I bashed the system and I bashed the players. And so my jacket was really, they brought up a lot of things in my jacket that they're not supposed to. And so now there's a huge whistleblower lawsuit. And my case was the name cited. It's all started with my case. Now they've added like 35 other people. But my case is case number one. I'm inmate number one, blacked out, you know. The writer for Forbes actually told me. The day I got out, he sent it to me. He said, I couldn't send it to you when you're inside. They're reading all your mail. They're reading all your emails.
Crazy.
Yeah, listening to all your phone calls. I sort of knew that, but yeah, it's a wild thing. So, you know, when I'm done with my paper, I'll join that lawsuit.
Right.
We have all this on film right now.
Nice.
You got me. And so you are a walking miracle. Tell us about your apparel company. You making money?
Yeah, it's going good. We're selling gear in 43 states and 3 continents. And,
why not 50 states? I'm just curious. That's what my mother would have said.
Just haven't
That's
reached
what my mother would have said.
We're trying. Hopefully with the
Why not
social
50
media
states?
game and everything else, we'll get there.
Social media is very powerful.
Yeah. And got the website, GITTlive.com, GITTlive.com. And you can check out the apparel there.
How do we find you online?
So if you want to reach out to me, it's Adam Larkin and GITT on Facebook. Then it's GITT_apparel on TikTok and Instagram. And then I actually just changed my names on YouTube because I'm going to be starting my podcast.
Yes,
I just filmed the first 3 episodes in the studio. Once I get to 10 episodes, I'm going to start releasing one a week right around November 15th.
Okay,
and,
good.
I'll definitely have you out on that sometime.
I look forward to that. Yeah.
That way you can see Lexington again.
I really want to go to
Maybe
Kentucky.
around the Derby time.
You know, I'm single for the first time in 35 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would love to go there for the Derby. That would be wild.
Nice.
I'd put on a suit.
Yeah.
You know, this is about as dressed up as I get these days. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I'm either wearing a full good suit or
Are
my
you?
or my own apparel. So just
What type of apparel do you have?
So I have hats, trucker hats, fitted hats, I have beanies, hoodies, t-shirts.
Why don't you send me some gear? I'll promote it.
Well, this is for you, man. So
Oh,
I actually
bro,
brought you. I don't know
thank
if you
you.
really wear hats, but
I always need a hat because, you know, I'm very fair-skinned and I have skin cancer.
oh, okay.
It's one of a variety of new ailments I have as an older
Wow.
guy. Yeah, but
Well, now you got to get hat.
and you know, my kids, they love these hoodies and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
I
I'll
want
give you the
to send me
family discount.
some swag.
Absolutely.
But so where do we buy the gear? Are you in stores or just online? Is
Online right now, GITTlive.com,
I love it.
GITTlive.com.
GitLive.com.
Yeah.
I love it. And what do you sell?
Trucker hats, fitted hats, beanies, hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops, all sorts of stuff.
And
Boom.
it's,
Looks great.
and it's about, you know, it's about doing great things, huh? Being
Just
clean.
motivation, positivity, inspiration, just inspiring people to live their best lives, man. You know, you don't even necessarily have to be in recovery. Just living a healthy lifestyle, focusing on mental, spiritual, and physical well-being.
You know what I found over the years as I you know, came out of that world and walked out of the shadows and into the sun, is that most people are naturally sober. You know, not you know, they'll go, well, maybe they'll have a drink. My wife has like half a drink every year. And she'll talk, I got it loaded. She has half a Cosmopolitan, maybe once a year. Maybe not.
Normal person.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
I got the spins, you know, and like that kind of stuff. Yeah, my kids, I say, have something. Do you want to drink? We got Mother's Day. We go out for Father's Day. We go out for birthdays. Nah, Dad. You know, look, have something. You can have something. Nah, I don't. And I would be like, I would have had 3 bottles already.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, and I thought everybody was like me. And somehow we find, you know, I could go into any city at one point in my life. And within 10 minutes, I knew, you know, where to get drugs,
Right.
where the best clubs were, where the best strip clubs were.
Right.
You know, I had connections. Like, this is before Google. You understand? There was no Google. There was no social media. There were
Right.
no cell phones.
Right.
I would disappear, and it was normal. What happened? I'd just make up a whole story. Meanwhile, I didn't even know what state I was in sometimes. I'd
Right.
wake up in different places. I go on business trips.
That's how it was for most of my run.
Yeah,
But I didn't have like the normal like I have now. Like you at least had like a career, like a real career during all this. I obviously was like, you know, criminal.
yeah, you were just out and about.
Yeah.
But of course, they said I was a criminal.
Right.
At least they convicted me of one criminal act,
Right.
manipulating the London Stock Exchange while I was in London with no Americans, following their rules. That's what I was convicted of.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. American greed. I'm the
I'm gonna
finale
check it
of
out.
season 9.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit.
Nice.
You'll really enjoy it now that we
I use that a lot too. Sky's the limit. Live your best life.
And you know what I say? Don't tell me the sky's the limit because there are footprints on the moon right now.
Right.
I love that. That was, but my daughter's name was Skylar, so I named my first company. I named that brokerage from Sky Capital for my daughter.
Nice.
Yeah, it's. I thought it was a good thing. All right, so tell us about. You've been featured in LA Wire, CEO Weekly, Recovery Today, New York Weekly, U.S. Insider. You're launching a podcast. I mean, bro, you're one of those guys, right? All in.
Yeah. So
you're addicted to being addicted.
I got a lot of different things going on, man. God is good and life is good. I'm Chief Marketing Officer as well for New Hope Counseling and Recovery. I've been working there 3 years.
Slow down. Where is that located?
Southeastern Kentucky.
And what is it?
Outpatient counseling service, like intensive outpatient, just different therapies, anger management, grief counseling, stuff like that.
So people is it court-ordered kind of
disorder.
Stuff?
Some can be, but a lot of, people aren't.
People that just want
mental health counseling. Yeah.
I love it. So I told you I might have mentioned Raw Media, my podcast, and we're building a really nice media company. Go to rawmediaofficial.com. We just soft launched the site.
Nice.
But we just started Raw Health and Wellness.
Okay.
And we're going big into mental health. We believe there's a real epidemic going on, and I have some of the top people in the world in the mental health field all through down, and they're in. We're having a big meeting next Friday here in Delray and next Saturday in Dania Beach.
Nice.
Yeah, I have top people in the field that want to be part of. I shouldn't say they don't want to be. They're in. They're part of Raw Health.
That's awesome.
We'll be launching that soon as well because there's a real issue. There's a real epidemic. There's a crisis. I think it's the crisis of the 21st century.
Right.
I really mean that. And it goes beyond addiction and alcoholism. There's a lot, everybody's anxious. ADD, ADHD, OCD, depression. There's a suicide every 11 seconds in America. So you're doing good stuff.
Yeah, well, and like you said, man, it's like I tell people, anybody, especially like CEOs, entrepreneurs, that, you don't have to be in recovery to benefit from the stuff we learn from it, right? Like you got people that are billionaires jumping out of windows or shooting themselves because they're depressed or anxiety.
Correct.
And it's like, doesn't have to do drugs and alcohol. Mental health's huge.
Mental health, depression.
Anybody going through the 12 steps would
people
benefit.
People killing themselves. I mean, that means there's just no hope left.
They need the spiritual awakening.
It's one of the questions I wanted to ask you about your brother.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Great, man. He still in Northern Kentucky, helping tons of people.
He's a biblical scholar still?
Yeah. Yeah, great person.
New Testament? Jesus?
Yeah, the whole deal. Yeah. And that's, so when I
left
that.
Preach? He's like a preacher type?
He has, but he's more like a counselor, like mental health.
Sure.
So I actually, when I left that ministry, I got saved. Jesus, God set me free, got baptized.
I get it.
And then after I had started the clothing company and all that, so now, we're at, a couple of years down the road, I actually throw a big event, right? Through my clothing company.
I don't know.
I threw an event.
I've never been invited.
You will be.
I hope so.
I threw an event called the GITT Recovery Celebration. So it was a way for me to give back through my clothing company to the place I got sober in London, Kentucky. So
in the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere. We just had the 4th annual. So first year, First year we had like 500 people. Second year we had like 1,200. Third year we had like 2,100, and then we just hit a record over 3,000, and we were able to bless somebody. We gave away a car, gave away like 35 pairs of Hokas, a big screen TV, and a ton of people from all over came. Man, it was a good turnout.
And what is it it's a one-day festival?
Yeah, it's a one-day event, and I do it in September for National Recovery Month, just to showcase. I mean, you hear all the bad stuff coming, with the opioid epidemic and, like you said, mental health and drug epidemic across the country. You hear all the negativity, all that. You don't hear people like ourselves with long-term recovery out there crushing it. So I wanted to showcase that and also provide a bunch of resources for the newcomer to go into. And
that's great. People want to feel like they were part of something.
Right.
And I'll never forget, when I first got clean, I was scared. AA. Back in my day, AA, these guys are literally sleeping on park benches. Right. Literally in Manhattan, it's just before they cleaned it up. Literally, we had the Bowery. Today, the Bowery, you can't even afford to live there.
Right.
It's like $1 million places, $1 million apartments for a closet.
Right.
But back in those days, there were people sleeping on the street.
Right.
With bottles. And that's what I saw going on Wall Street.
Right.
Bums in the street, homeless people. And, they were alcoholic, no question. But, who knew years later it would be revealed that guys like you, guys like me, regular guys were...
Drugs and alcohol don't discriminate about backgrounds or socioeconomic.
Just like cancer.
Yeah.
Guess what? Doesn't matter. It's going to eat. If you got that disease, you got that disease, and it is a disease.
Right.
How do I know? I'll tell you, I couldn't balance it out until I read the doctor's opinion, and then when I checked out of rehab, it was $33,000 for a 28-day stay in Silver Hill.
Wow.
And the insurance company paid.
Nice.
They don't pay because I have no self-control or because I'm weak.
Right.
They pay because it's a disease and they're mandated to pay. That coupled with the doctor's opinion really gave me a lot of comfort. You understand?
Right. Absolutely.
Because I wanted to understand what the fuck is wrong with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my brother, my mother, nobody in my family had a drink.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I'm the only one in my family that was one of us.
This
for
crazy
sure.
man, I'm like, what the fuck?
Speaking of awesome people with integrity, shout out to the old man. I'm gonna make him watch this one because you're an old timer like he is.
I love it.
The old man actually, he's even a senior to you. He just today is his 80th birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Larkin. Happy birthday to you. What a son, huh? I'm glad you're alive. You're alive to see this. I mean, I'm sure you put your dad to play.
Oh yeah.
Fucking shit.
Oh yeah.
You can go now, Mr. Larkin. He's in good hands. Really, it's true. The parents. When I got clean, my mother. She would never thought she would see the day.
Right.
When I got married, and I'm drinking Martinelli's apple cider. Met a nice girl and all that. All the promises come true.
Right.
The promises are the thing that kept me going, just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm at this event, and one of the sponsors and vendors there is a place that I was just telling you about called New Hope Counseling and Recovery. Yep. So they recruited me, to do marketing for them and social media and stuff because they liked what I was doing when my stuff started to take off, and worked for them, for about 3 years now. And then actually, I'm stepping away from my role there on the 31st because now with this new podcast and then me and, the fiance, she just opened that women's residential treatment center.
That's crazy.
The Fourth Dimension in Harlan, Kentucky. So it's, it's for 8 women, like quality care and, straight solution, 12-step facilitation, getting a sponsor while you're there, working steps. And church, like the whole nine.
And she's a founder.
Group counseling, yeah, and she's a licensed clinician. She's a therapist.
Nice.
So
that's your fiance.
Yeah,
you're gonna need that license, babe. This guy's a handful.
Well, and then ironically, in case we do like a men's center or something down the road, I'm actually just got accepted. I got accepted in the MBA program, but now I might be switching it to a master's in counseling and education. So I start that in January.
I think that would be big for you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
I just got my BA in May in organizational leadership and a minor.
You're revolving, bro.
Marketing.
I mean, it's just like a miracle to see, right?
Yeah.
43 years old, right?
Started over at 37.
I'm saying it's not too late, everybody.
Nah, America's land of the second chances. Everybody loves a comeback story, baby.
I'm right here.
Everybody wants to help somebody who's helping themselves as well and be a part of something.
Right. I'm Ross 3.0 now.
Right.
Forbes did a story on me in the magazine, Ross 2.0.
Right.
They did 20 stories on me, but I was Ross 2.0, and I came out in May 2005, the day of my 30-year high school reunion.
Wow.
I'm in Forbes it's on the magazine newsstand.
Well, I got GITT Apparel on the Times Square billboards.
I heard that. Tell us about that.
You'll have to show me how to get in Forbes.
That's easy. Actually, that's well, because it's me. I have that rip.
Yeah, it's all about connections.
It's all about who you know.
Yeah.
But also, you got to have the story. They're not interested in writing about nobody.
Yeah.
I think you have a great story for it.
Well, and when it was clipping too, of course, I had to go to New York and be in Manhattan while it was going off, so that way I could film it and do all the videography and stuff.
Yeah.
Now we can put as seen on Times Square billboards.
I love that. And so when was that? How'd that happen?
That was December 23. Happened. I actually, with all the marketing and stuff I'm doing, met a dude that owned a couple of the billboards in New York that reached out to me while I'm in Kentucky. He's like, yo, I love what you're doing. I got these slots open. Why don't you throw it up there in December or whatever and like work something out with them? So I was like, absolutely. I'll be on a plane.
And what'd you have to pay?
I think normally it'd be like something crazy, but they only made me pay like a few $100, and I got like the main
really?
deal. Yeah.
Because that should be crazy.
Yeah.
That's God's will.
Absolutely.
That's a great thing.
Yeah. Just broker and stuff, man. So I learned with the following and stuff to leverage stuff. So it's like, now I'm not thinking like, oh, well, someday I'll be. Now I'm like, all right, you did the work, you're there, act like it. So now it's like, I remember Arnold Schwarzenegger saying once, like, work, work, work. And then after you've worked, show everybody the work that you've done.
100%.
And it's like marketing.
100%.
So it's like now I'm leveraging stuff. So I found this awesome place. Shout out to Il Molino Chino Restaurante in Fort Lauderdale. They literally went there and tried it, and they were filming an event there. They had a videographer, so me and cameras. Of course, I'm talking to this guy. I'm like, oh, you take some good pictures and what? Gave him my card. I go sit down. I'm ordering an appetizer. He comes back with the owner, like, yo, we saw your social media. While you're down here, this is awesome. Eat for free anytime you come. Anytime you or your family come down, it's on us. Just take some pics or some videos or whatever, and plug us. And I'm like, absolutely.
Il Molino's my favorite.
And it's like, made me feel like I was home in New York, made me feel like part of the family, took me back in the kitchen, felt like Henry Hill,
restaurant.
like, hey, we own the joint.
That's real.
It was a real old school Italian.
Yeah.
Beef, grass-fed beef and calamari flown in from New Zealand, like real food.
Bro, it's like real food.
It was a game changer.
Talking top of the game. It's just,
Yeah.
It doesn't even really get too much better, if it gets better at all. I'm going to say that to you. So, the original Il Molino was on like 3rd Street in Manhattan.
Okay.
And back in the day, it was, so, they used to be, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have any of these things, but there would be a book that would come out. The best restaurant, they used to rate restaurants. And that was the #1 ranked restaurant in New York for 15 years in a row.
Nice.
#1 Italian, #1 family Italian, but #1 overall restaurant. That Lutece,
nice.
number one. That was fancy French.
Right.
$140 for
right.
steak is this big.
Exactly.
I think I left 2.
4-ounce medallion.
I think I left 2. But it was a big deal on Wall Street if you can get into Il Molino.
Right.
And this is before social media and all that. And I made sure that I went in there and I gave those guys IPOs to trade.
Nice.
I made them more money. I walked in, it was like I was like a gangster. It was really great.
Right.
And you're right. You do the work. You do the work, but you let people know you're doing work. And that's what's great about social media.
Right.
It's friggin' great. I mean, I love people say, "Why are you doing this?" And it was I recognize opportunity.
Right.
Okay. I come from the stock market. I put $1,500 into my account in August 1983. I was a young trainee at E.F. Hutton Company. And by my 30th birthday, March of 87, I had over $30 million in the account.
Game changer.
Because how else can you do that? There's a virality in the market, the stock market. I'm doing it now for people. But there's a virality in the market where you can multiply your return instead of just where it's accretive,
right.
using addition. And I was in prison for a good part of it. But as social media blew up, especially during the lockdowns and stuff, everybody's stuck in the house, really.
Right.
I mean, literally. And I recognized the virality of social media, where you could just post something, and all of a sudden, like we posted something today, this morning. I have almost 10,000 views already.
Nice.
In one post on my Instagram. It's going crazy.
Nice.
Yesterday, I did a video of discussing an update on a stock I recommend. 3,000 views. 3,000 people.
Right.
But today, it's almost 10,000 in one day so far. I don't know
Right.
where it's going because, these things can go. I have one I did in my house on an iPhone 11 by myself, and it's got over 3 million views. I got over 34,000 followers, all organic.
Right.
With this one clip. And I don't even particularly think it's a great clip.
That's what I did on Facebook, man. And ironically, it wasn't even mine. It was like a repost.
That's what we did today.
I got 69.9 million plays. I got 46,000 followers off the one reel.
How crazy.
It was dinging so hard with notifications that it took
Right.
90 days to stop.
I love it. I love it. It's
So that's how I got,
Right.
3/4 of my following on Facebook just from that one reel.
But that's what it takes. It takes just one or two
Consistency
clips.
too.
You have to be consistent.
Like people are like, oh, you got this off one reel. They don't realize that I posted, 10,000 reels or whatever.
Well, it's like the stock market. People, they see you make $30 million out of 1,500, but they don't realize that I trade all day long.
Right.
You just have one or two that really hit and rock your world.
Right.
If you had Nvidia at $9, it went straight to 1,000, split 10 for 1, and it's gone its way back to 1,000.
Right.
I mean, you don't need too many. You're not going to get too many like that.
Right.
You need a few. A few deals that, you buy stock at 6 and you sell it at 600.
Right.
I mean, it's, but you got to play every day and show up every day to get that fucking $6 piece of paper.
And have the patience to let it get to where it's got to get at.
And you develop that from experience. consistency, showing up every day and just, being present. That's something in my past when I was active. I didn't have that. I couldn't reason things out sometimes.
Right.
It was all just feel. And you feeling, feelings are not facts, feelings
Exactly.
lie. I was all over the fucking place.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just wild. I tell you, I turned 1,500 to 30 million. What I didn't tell you, by 3 years later, by 1990, I was down, right after 1987, after the crash, I was down to 2.7 million in a matter of 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
By the time I got sober, I owed $1 million.
Right.
I had $4,000 to my name. I put $2,000 in each sneaker and went off to rehab.
Right.
I say, that's how bad 1990 was. I actually got sober. It was like show up for work and go to a rehab. Can you imagine? That's how bad work got. I couldn't handle it. I just couldn't handle anything.
Right.
You know that feeling when you just can't handle anything? The
Yeah.
simplest task is like, oh my God.
Right. Overwhelmed.
Wow, you want me to go to the supermarket? Are you
Right.
crazy? You know what I mean? So it's really great to meet you, Adam. Tell us, you're like in hypergrowth. That's who you are, I'm guessing. It took you a minute to become this guy, to find this guy. He was trapped in this
Right.
37-year-old body, and then you let him out.
Yeah.
And you sprinkled some God dust on him,
Right.
and you took everything else out of the vessel, and
Hit the ground running and took that same addict alcoholic mentality, what I used to do with making sure I got the next one, which was always, and put it into, doing good, but also super motivated. You know what I mean? Like I'm
you're
not
doing
getting
healthy things.
I'm
good
not
things.
getting any younger, so I'm like, I need to
You look good though.
I need to
bro.
rock and roll.
You look great. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
say this to you. You look great. When you said that accident, I was looking for scars and stuff like that. I'm stunned at how good you look. You look like childlike almost. Just your face, which is the nicest thing you could tell a man
Right.
that's over 35, over 40.
Right.
I look like I should be on Mount Rushmore. I'm so old. I'm stoned.
Well, sometimes it's like, you get in so good with recovery and you get set free. It's like, unless you actually told somebody your story, they'd never know you were an alcoholic or an addict at one point, which is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool for the average bear, but I see it.
Right.
See,
But you can also, you know your own though.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
No, I regret that I never got to party with you because I think you probably were a fun guy. You were probably the coolest guy in Saratoga Springs. I mean, you were probably wild.
I definitely thought I was, I'm sure.
You definitely were. Yeah, well, that's it, Grandiosity is the first word I related to in the program.
Nice.
I'm grandiose as fuck and always have been, always will be, God willing, because that's not a bad thing as long as it's in check. What do we have not covered? What do you want the world to know that we haven't chatted about yet?
So besides all that stuff I'm doing, I'm also...
Are you going to marry this woman?
Absolutely.
When are you getting married?
May.
Oh, you actually have a date set?
Yeah, May 24th.
Wow. Okay. That might be the Derby weekend. I mean,
It might be.
it could be right around
Yeah.
Memorial Day.
And
Yeah,
then,
the May.
so I'm also learning how to do all the social media and the follow and all that
Yep.
deal. It opened up social media consulting opportunities. So now I'm doing that for different companies and also like
I
running
love
other
it.
people's pages.
I love it.
And then also going to start the Get Up podcast. Like I said,
I love that.
I'm 3 episodes in,
I love
filming
it.
in the studio. I got 2 more to film when I get back Tuesday. And then 5 after that, we're going to start them rolling, man, weekly. And then just make sure I got, a few ahead of me in case something comes up.
I love it. Now, your brother studied the Bible, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you're close with your brother. You have been during the course of your life.
Yeah.
What's one thing that he's taught you about God, the Bible, the stories, Jesus, all of it, any or all?
God is real. I'm nothing. And serve others and just try and be humble and have humility. Because the second I start thinking I'm the man, look at what I'm doing, like that's a recipe for disaster, relapse, and 50 other bad things.
Ego.
So I need to be confident, not arrogant.
It's a tough road to hoe. Ego, easing God out. That's what they say.
Right.
Easing God out. Because
Especially
I believe,
being a New Yorker.
especially,
Right.
I do believe that we all have God inside of us. I do believe that.
A lot of times
Sometimes he wants to come out. Come on,
right.
let's fucking go.
A lot of times
Another round.
a lot of times I feel bad, being in southeastern Kentucky, but because they'll be like, "Oh, that's just the New Yorker," and I'm like, they know. Like it's like
do know.
they don't get it. It's like, bro, come up here where there's 8 million people running around. You get like we're at this pace. I'm running over and through people, and they just don't get it. And I'm like, that's why I'm that motivated because I grew up there. And then you put me in a different part of the country where people are just like chilling or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know if it's the newer generations or what it is, Ross, but it's like if you're a savage in the industry today, you just move up quick.
Yeah, I am a savage. I can't help it. I love when people say to me, "You're from New York." You had to ask.
Right.
Like, you actually have to ask me.
Right. All you need to do is listen to you talk.
Right. They all know the
Yeah.
way I move, everything else. Even when I was inside, I'm inside prison. I'm walking, circles around people. My Wall Street training and my addict mentality and
Right.
who I am and the experiences I've had. I was in a New York car.
Right.
That's a whole nother story. But okay, you're going to get married. I'm glad to hear that. Your brother taught you some very good things. I mean, last question I like to always end with. It's almost a scary question for you. Where is Adam Larkin going to be in 5 years from now?
Hopefully on a beach somewhere, man.
No,
No.
you could never do that. I hate to say it. If you go to the beach, if you ate it 2 weeks, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, we'd have to somehow find out how to
2
be
weeks.
like a restaurateur, like have like some shipping boat company coming in or something.
You buy
Learn some kind of yacht property or
you'd be running the whole beach.
rentals, something.
That was my theory. I was going to go to the beach, bought a house at the beach.
Just hopefully, man, blow up this podcast, get, a couple more treatment centers, really see making a difference in people's lives. Clothing companies skyrocketed even at a different level, and just being comfortable, man. You don't need to be like, some billionaire or whatever. I just want to be comfortable enough to where in 10 years, I don't have to do much besides help other people and travel.
You're here to serve people. You're here to do good things. What's your dad's first name?
Kenneth.
Ken.
My dad and my brother.
Ken and Ken Jr.?
Yeah.
KJ?
Yeah.
To both Kens, you got to be really proud of this young man. I mean, he's killing it. He's moving in the right direction at the right speed. I'm proud of him. I know you are too. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks for having me, Ross.